guys, welcome back to Bait and Tackle. I'm your host Joe Frank, and today we are going to do a pretty cool episode. We're going to dive back into some soft plastics, and I'm really excited to show you guys this. So I have been doing some work with this guy right here, NGraves bait molds, and he has sent me some really cool molds. Now I think we did a video back in the day on this one, and this is his sharpshooter worm. Okay, it's the same thing as the Yum sharpshooter worm, except this is his take on it. It's completely round. It doesn't have a flat side on it, so it's not exactly the same. You know what I'm saying? But it's very similar. So it has that the little tail, and I'm gonna get you down here to the bench. We'll go over the details. But he made this for me. And he kind of customized it a little bit because I had some issues with the length of the one he originally made and the body width. I needed it a little bit bigger to be just like the Yum version. So he made me this one, and this one is fantastic. I love this mold, and I've made a couple of worms, and I've actually fished with them and actually caught some stuff with them. But let me introduce to you his new version of it. This is the big sharpshooter, and this mold is made out of resin, and it has 8 cavities. 8 cavities. Awesome. It also has a separated tail section, so you could make tails and then put them back into the mold and make the bodies a different color if you want to. We probably won't do the tail portion today, but I am going to feature Blue Craw on here. I'm going to do a version of Blue Craw. We're going to use some cool products. So we're going to use some Blue Craw colorant from DOP, and we're also going to use some 8-bit bait products as well, some moon dust. So that's going to be pretty sweet. So we're going to start off with a simple color in this first, just to shoot it and see how it shoots. The one thing you have to be cognizant of with these is that when they get warm, if they get too warm, they tend to warp, but these cavities are so small that I don't think we're gonna have an issue with that. Now, he sent me 2 of them, so I have 2 of these to try. But you guys, these are available on his website, so go check them out. I highly recommend it if you want to get out there and do some fishing with some small worms and stuff. And I'll even show you at the end of this video the setup that I use to fish these worms with, okay? So let's get you down to the bench and let's check these things out. Okay guys, so here is the mold, okay? And I just want to kind of give you guys a visual of what this thing looks like. Now, it is, like I said, a resin mold. He does offer it in different versions if you want to screw it together. I believe he's got that also, so you can actually put it together with screws and keep it shut tight. I just wanted the pins, so I have the version with the pins that hold it together, and I clamp them shut, okay? That's just how I typically do things, so I'm just going to just stay with what I'm used to. So again, he labeled these very nicely: tails for the tail injection port and sharpshooter for the actual worm port. I probably should have had it like this so you could see it better. Tails, sharpshooters, okay? So let's open this thing up, take a look. Okay, so the first thing you'll notice is, again, 8 cavities. Here's the sprue. You could do dual. You could do dual injection with these. It shouldn't be a problem. But you have the tail mold here. You got all your air cavities and air vents and stuff like that built in. Here's your sprue for the tails. It's a little bit smaller than the one for the worms. And you could take these tails, put them in here, and he made it so that it will actually lay into it, the cavity, a little bit, so the soft plastic would go around the tail and make a good connection. Okay, so really cool design. I really enjoy this mold. I've shot it already a bunch of times. So what we're gonna do first is I'm going to get this thing ready, and some people say that you need to brush these with some oil or anything like that. I don't have a problem with it at all. So I've already injected these a few times, so they should be fine. The oil's not going to hurt it if you want to do that to make it a little bit shinier, but I don't have that problem. Okay, so I've got both of these molds. I'm heating up some green pumpkin with black flake first, and we are just going to inject these as is, just so you can get an understanding of injecting these resin molds. Okay, they're a little bit different than the aluminum molds because you have to you have to do it nice and easy. You might be able to shoot them fast, but you can't put too much pressure because they will blow out and you'll get some flashing, okay? So again, we're not going to do the tails today. I'm just going to do the sharpshooter worms. So we're going to do some green pumpkin first, like I said, and then the second thing is we're going to be making a new color. It's not a new color, but a color that I've actually posted on Instagram, the recipe for this. We're going to do that same recipe with blue craw, some glitter, and some 8-bit bait products. All right, so we've got our green pumpkin, and it is nice and hot and ready to go. I degassed it. I'm just going to give it a quick stir, and then we are going to shoot some of these sharpshooter worms. So we need to shoot here for the worm cavity. Okay, I've got my 6-ounce injector. I think it's a 6 ounce. And I use injectors from Lure-Craft. But we're just going to nice and easy slide it down until it's nice and tight, and then take it off and just fill up the rest of the sprue. Same thing, nice and easy. Fill up the thing, don't put too much pressure on it, and then fill up the sprue. And then I'm just going to sit here and top off the sprues as necessary. Okay. And that's it. So we wait for that to cool down, and these take a little bit longer to cool down than a traditional aluminum mold because they're made out of resin. But these are pretty thick pieces of resin, and these cavities are very small. So, but I'm going to give this a few minutes to cool down. Let it cool down. We'll take it apart, demold it. I'll show you guys, and then I want to make up a couple more batches of these sharpshooter worms. All right, so we are ready to demold, but first, because I'm going to do another batch of these, I might do a couple batches of these actually, I'm going to get this heated up in the microwave so it's nice and hot again. So here we go, guys. I'm going to take my clamps off. Okay, and 2 clamps is sufficient. If you feel like you need more, then slap on a few more. But 2, in my opinion, is not too bad. It actually works very well. Okay, so let me just take one of these real quick. Let's get this up here. See if I can get this to peel onto one side, which rarely happens. But actually, it didn't do too bad. So there you go, guys. So again, resin mold, not super expensive, won't break the bank, especially if you're looking to just get out there, make some of your own baits, get out there and do some fishing. I see a tiny bit of flashing in some spots, but it's nothing that I'm really going to worry about. I'm not worried about it at all. So, but guys, that came out incredible. So again, I'm gonna do a couple batches of these, and I'll just show you guys what this is like. Peel it out of here. So you get 8 worms from one shot in this mold. So I have 2 of these molds. I'm gonna make 16 every time I shoot 2, which is incredible. And I got to tell you guys a story at the end of this video that you're gonna love, because I just used these at a local lake, and these are small enough to where you can pull the sprues. I know a lot of people don't say not to pull the sprues off like that, but these are so small that I don't think you need to even worry about that. But there you go. You might have some little pieces sticking up there that you can trim off if you want to. You can cut them off. Like I said before, I was trying to do a better job of that, but yeah, I mean, I don't think it really matters if you're gonna just run out there and do some fishing, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not super worried about it. But there you go, guys. So let me I'm just gonna undo this one real quick. I'm gonna make a bunch more of these, and this one came out exactly the way I wanted it as well. So super fantastic. Okay, another 8 worms. Love it. All right, so off camera, I'm going to do a couple more of these, and then we'll come back and we will start the next color, which is going to involve some super awesome new products from Michael over at Bait Chuckin'. He's got some new stuff called Moon Dust, and we're going to take a look at this guy right here, Lone Star. So the plastisol of choice is always LureWorks Porosol Pro. This is the medium hard blend, which is my favorite. You could probably go with a little bit softer for a worm if you wanted to, but I really like this blend, and it's kind of the perfect combination. It's kind of like a medium. It's really a really good medium. So for worms, craws, all that kind of stuff. But we only have just that little bit left of a jug, and I'm actually going to have to open up another jug. So one thing about this plastisol that's fantastic is the hard pack is not very bad at all. Like it stays consistent. Now I have another full jug here. I actually have 2 full jugs of medium hard. 2 more. But I do have a lot of old plastisol that I probably should be using, but this has got a changeable effect, so I really need some clear plastic, and this is gonna work really well. Okay, so mix that up good. You can buy a mixer to use in these jugs, but I'm going to bring this up to a little bit more than half of this cup, probably about 12, like right there. That's good. Okay, so it's about 1.5 cups right there. Okay, this is a 2-cup cup. It's a dead-on plastic wide mouth cup, which I kind of really enjoy these wide mouth cups. So let me go ahead and get this into the microwave and get it heated up and get it nice and clear, and then we will come back and add our colorants and our flake and our 8-bit product. Okay guys, so we have our nice clear cup of plastisol, and the first thing we're going to do is we're going to add colorant, and we're going to add dead-on plastic blue craw. Now this shouldn't take me much to get it stirred up because I just used this recently. So I'm going to open it up. We're going to go straight to 40 drops. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 9, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, 36, 37, 38, 39, 40. Okay. Right to 40 drops. 1.5 cups of plastic. Look at that color come alive. Oh, it's incredible. Now I'm just going to do a quick little drop some on the bench test here, because I may want to add just a touch more, but that looks pretty good. So, but I'm going to go ahead and add 10 more. So I'm going to go 50. So my recipe on 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I did a recipe on Instagram and I said 25 to 40. I typically like my baits a little translucent, okay? And 40 is a lot, but it's still pretty translucent, which is good. So I would typically stick to the other end of the spectrum, but I know a lot of people like that solid color of these baits, and I can see the brown in this, so this is good. 40 to 50 is good. That 40 actually looked pretty good, especially when I picked it up off the table. I could see that brown, and I bet you guys can see that brown pretty clear. Okay, so other things we're going to add. We are going to do we're going to do a 1/16 pinch of black glitter And for the 8-bit, we're going to do a smidgen, which is 132. Okay, so let's do our 1/16 black glitter. This is 0.015. Okay, just one scoop, one level scoop of that fine glitter, and that'll darken the bait up a little bit too, so you don't really need to worry about adding any more past that. You know what I mean? It's plenty. Okay, so there's our glitter, and then I'm also at the same time going to take our 8-bit baits moon dust, and this is Lone Star, and I'm going to go ahead and put a 132 scoop of that in there. And you see that nice blue there, that blue highlight? That's going to look really good in the bait. Okay, that's what that is. It's moon dust Lone Star. Okay, 8-bit baits, man, love this stuff. So I'm going to get this stirred in. We're probably going to have to heat this up a little bit. And the blue from this Lone Star, it's almost like an aqua blue, almost like that turquoise blue that's actually part of the blue craw. It just gives it a little added effect, and it looks spectacular. Okay, I don't know how much you guys can see that from up there. Let me see if I can zoom you in, maybe get you a closer view here. See that? Isn't that incredible? So you're looking at the brown from the blue craw, and then you get that little blue and turquoise shimmer, and it's honestly, it's fantastic. So I'm going to zoom back out here. I'm going to go ahead and just get this heated up in the microwave and get it degassed, because it definitely needs to get some air and some moisture out of it for sure. So let me do that off camera, and then we'll come back and we'll inject these. And then stay tuned to the end. I'm going to tell you how to rig this worm, and I'm also going to show you all the baits we've made. So last heat up in the microwave, hopefully. Just had a couple little extra air bubbles there on the top. I'm going to go ahead and check temperature. I may need to heat it up just a touch more. Yep, just a touch more. And then we're going to come back and inject this. So I'm just going to give it one more 30-second hit in the microwave. And we are going to go ahead and inject this with the blue craw, and I can't wait to see what this comes out like. Now, I've already done this color in the sharpshooter worms, and I took these worms to a reservoir in West Virginia, and I absolutely hammered the bass with these. And not huge ones. I think maybe the biggest was like 1.5 pounds, 2 pounds. But I had so much fun pulling them in to the kayak. It was just an incredible day. Incredible. Okay, so we are where we need to be. I'm going to go ahead and get this a little bit closer. I'm going to hit it one more time. I see a couple air bubbles on the top. Okay, got my injector. I'm going to draw up. I don't need to fill this injector. It's pretty big. And these cavities are pretty small on these baits. So I'm just bleeding off the air, making sure I got everything out. I'm pretty sure I did. And then again, nice and steady until it gets hard. And same thing on the second one, nice and steady until it stops. Okay, don't ram it. Don't push it too hard, because you're gonna get flashing if you push it too hard. I'm going to push the rest of my injector back into the cup so it stays hot. Give that a stir, and then we're gonna just let that cool down and set up, and then we're gonna come back and demold it. All right, I think we're ready. You guys ready? I'm gonna slowly peel this apart. I don't know which side. Majority, I think it looks like it's going to go on that side. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. That looks incredible. So I love when you take them out of the mold and they get that light blue color. But for right now, they're like a brown color. See it? But then if you get like the tails, you can see the blue. See it? Oh, incredible. I love this color. And that 8-bit just gives it just a little bit of perfection. It just makes it incredible. So, all right, I'm gonna get these off and I'm gonna get the other one demolded. And I'm also going to do another couple rounds of these. So we'll just come back when I have all of the baits that I want to have made. So I want to show you how I rigged this thing. I have a size 2 Gamakatsu EWG hook, and I think the only place I could find them was on Amazon. And they may even be tough to find on there because I think the last time I looked they only had like 1 package left. So number 2 EWG Gamakatsu, and all I do is just put it in through the end just a little bit and come back out of the worm like that. Bury that top part of the EWG hook into the plastic like that, just like that, okay? And then all I do is take the hook and I push it through the body up the other side so it sticks out. And you may have to adjust this to get the length on it that you want, right? And then before you put your hook on, I use a 1/16 ounce tungsten. Now you could probably use like a 132 lead or even a 1/64 lead, I guess. Or I'm sorry, 132 or a 1/16, but it's just gonna be a little bit bigger if it's lead, right? So, but that's a perfect rig right there, and I caught a ton of fish on that right there. Absolute killer. So here it is, we're wrapping up the video. I wanted to show you what we made. We made all of these worms. We made all of these worms on the other sheet. I think there were 2 green pumpkin ones that I ended up throwing back in because they had some pretty big air traps in them. But again, if you're shooting 8 cavities, it really doesn't matter. You know, sacrificing 1 or 2 out of injecting 8, you know, and then just re-hitting it again, it's not really a big deal. But I probably start, like I noticed like towards the end, I'd start getting some air bubbles in the last run, like of the green pumpkin. So I'm just gonna go ahead and probably just make some more of those at some point, but I'll make sure that I more frequently vacuum out my plastic, you know, in between while I'm heating it up and doing all that stuff again, because every time you stir, you're introducing air and moisture too. So that's it, guys. This is the sharpshooter worm, again, by NGraves bait molds, and super awesome. These things are relatively inexpensive compared to a CNC mold, and you can use them, you can abuse them. Again, they need to be cooled down after a while. So like after this run of these 2, they need to be, they're warm to the touch. So I'm definitely you're gonna have to, if you're shooting them, a lot of them, you know, mass quantities of them, you're gonna need to stop in between, cool them down. Maybe what I should do is add some aluminum cooling plates in between here, or use other molds to put in between these just to keep them cool. That's probably a really good idea. I might do that on the next one. But you guys let me know what you think you want to see next, because I'm thinking about doing the tail portion so you guys can see how well that works. We can inject a bunch of tails, which I haven't done yet, put them in this side, and we can do a different color, like maybe some chartreuse tails and some green pumpkin bodies, or you know, something else, maybe like a black. I do have this idea, this really cool idea for a black color that I saw from somebody, but we can check that out too. Well, there you have it, guys. That's going to wrap today's video up. Again, NGrave bait molds, the sharpshooter worm, and now comes in an 8 cavity mold. Incredible, absolutely incredible. And I absolutely slayed the fish on these. So I went to West Virginia recently for work, and I found this little reservoir near where I was staying. And I figured, you know what, I'll just go give it a shot one afternoon, just try it, you know, see what I can come out with. I ended up catching 11 bass. Not huge ones, there were a lot of small ones, you know, biggest one maybe like 1.5 pounds, 2 pounds. But I was just having so much fun just pulling them out. And again, on that same rig that I showed you how to rig those up, the little size 2 EWG hook from Gamakatsu with a 1/16 tungsten weight. It really produced well, and I was using this color that we did today, the blue craw or the magic craw, whatever you want to call it, but it worked so well. But anyway, guys, get some stuff from Barlow's. Check them first to see if they've got any tungsten weights. I don't think they sell them down that small, the 1/16. I think I checked before. Those hooks, I'm not sure if they carry those or not. I think I looked before and I couldn't find them because they're so small. But go check. They may have it. They may change. I don't know. That kind of changes from day to day sometimes. And as always, Sticker Mule store. Get yourself some cool swag. That's always running nonstop. I don't take anything down. I'm just leaving everything up all the time. So if you guys want to go get yourself a shirt or a hat or some stickers or whatever, go check that out. So anyway, guys, thank you so much for watching. And as always, remember to keep on baiting.